would be less of a threat to Compass Realty even then, correct? Because you'd be stepping away and not spending a ton of time in the office.
No, sir. The evidence proves otherwise.
Okay. And then we look here at text on June 21st. Nicole says, now Alicia is in the other cubicle counting the files that were left in there. These people are so sick. They spend half the day trying to get you instead of working. The you she's referring to is yourself, correct?
I don't know if it was that or, generally saying you in that sense, like, because I don't have files in a cubicle.
Okay.
So it might have been, that perception that, I don't know how to explain that. I think you get it.
Contextually, she's talking about the old guard, correct?
She is talking about them, but as far as whether she's talking about herself or me, I don't know.
Understood. But she believes these people are sick. Is that right?
That's her opinion, and they did some pretty tough stuff.
Well, and it appears you share that same opinion. You say yes, like they think it all still matters, correct?
Right, like they're still trying to sabotage me, but it's pointless at this point, right?
Well, you say it's pointless, but we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
You then also say she's probably trying to get fodder to pass to the reporter, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So the reporter is still on your mind, isn't that right?
Just from the standpoint that they're still trying to concoct things, and that's why I decided to stay away from the office so they couldn't concoct anything anymore.
Because the articles were damaging, correct?
They were damaging, yes.
Professionally and personally.
Primarily professionally, because obviously I had to figure out something else to do for work, which, again, I'm a lawyer, so I guess, rehang my shingle if I can, do whatever I can.
And that's a really interesting point. On August 8th, we've seen how that's the day you get notified that Gehrman wants stuff between you and Rita, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
I want to look at what's marked on the bottom is page 110. Mm-hmm. Isn't it true that you tell Nicole at 12:28, you're dealing with a lot, I'm sorry. For me, this may have a long-term impact. I have people that no longer talk to me. Also, I'm worried in this digital age that the articles could potentially follow me around for years to come. I'm actually worried I might not have any good employment prospects after this, correct?
Yes.
And it just so happens that you were then informed that Gehrman is snooping around looking to potentially do another article, correct?
Yeah.
And you're telling Nicole in confidence that you believe your future employment is jeopardized because of the articles, right?
Yes, but the damage was already done. So it's not, whether he wrote another article, he wrote 10 more articles, it was irrelevant at this point.
Well, apparently you don't say that, though, in your email. You don't say in that text message. You don't say, but the damage is already done, do you? You don't say that in that message, correct?
Well, it says that the articles are going to have an impact, and you would think that would refer to previously published articles. So I think that it's assumed that, it's done is done. So sir, if he goes on and does 10 more articles, same net effect, really.
Right. Sir, to go back to my question, Isn't it true you never use the words, the damage is already done, correct?
Not in this particular message, no.
Right. And you state, also, I'm worried in this digital age that the articles could potentially follow me around for years to come. I'm actually worried I might not have any good employment prospects after this, correct?
I'd say it'd be better than if I had actually murdered Mr. Gehrman.
So, sir, we're going to go back to my question. Isn't that what you wrote in the text message?
Yes.
And 4 days later, Google Maps images start popping up in your phone, correct?
No.
7 days later, on the 15th, surveillance is being conducted on a street, correct?
Not by me.
And on the 23rd, multiple images of Gehrman's information about what car he drives and where he lives is literally being screenshotted of your desktop computer, correct?
Not by me.
Because if it was you, that would be a big problem, wouldn't it?
Conclusion, it's argumentative.
It is argumentative. If
We'll
you
move
want
on.
to rephrase it.
No, we can move on. Publishing 342. Then you receive this email on 9/1, correct?
Yes, sir.
You receive it at 5:45 p.m.,
Yes,
correct?
sir. Mm-hmm.
And we heard from Roberta, who talked about this, right?
Right.
And she had indicated that the release of the information to Gehrman was just around the corner, correct?
Right.
Let me find this.
And I knew in advance that it'd be only...
Sir, there's no question pending. At 5:45 on September 1st, you get the information. You get notified that Jeff Gehrman is soon to receive personal records requests related to messaging and communications between you and Roberta, correct?
No. It was not personal.
Okay, I didn't mean that. I meant, I apologize for my misstatement. Communications between you and Roberta, correct?
Business related, yes.
Right. And then at 11:20 in the morning, just a few hours later, Gehrman's dead, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about September 2nd, 2022. You had testified on direct that you had, your daughter had asked you a question, you responded around 8:48 in the morning, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said at that point you then hung out at home, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Around 10-ish you went for a walk, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You said you...
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You said you then came home, isn't that right?
Yes.
And you said that you went to the gym around 12 o'clock, 12:09, correct? I think that's when you log in, around 12:09.
That's when I checked in using my phone at Planet Fitness.
Okay. And that's the Planet Fitness that's on like Fort Apache and Charleston, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's kind of just down that road, right? Down. What's the road? So you live on Spanish Steps?
Correct.
And then the road to kind of make your way out to Piggott, what's that one called?
South Tassel.
Okay, and then if you made a left to go by Piggott, what's that big road?
Red Hills.
Red Hills. And Red Hills can kind of get you up to that corner, right? Where the
You can go through a roundabout. You can go north from there on Apple, and then you head east to get to Planet Fitness.
Okay. And I think what you had, before we do that, let me ask you this. So what car did you take to the gym?
The BMW.
All right. Oh, so it's kind of, what's the color? It's not quite gray. It's not quite brown.
I think it's brown. A
brownish color. Mm-hmm. It's kind of metallic-ish.
Right.
Okay. And you took that route that we just talked about. That's how you got to the gym. Correct?
Probably.
Okay. Oh, another question. So, and we're circling back to something, but your belief is, what's Jappy's role in the conspiracy? What exactly did he do?
I'm not certain to what extent, but obviously he's the one who initiated the surveillance that was done on me that went from, I believe it was August 16th, all the way through September 7th. So despite his testimony also that they only do surveillance every other day, if you look at Cynthia Sauerland, the surveillance pages from that, you see that they're done back from one day to the next. And when I requested that these surveillance logs be provided to me the first time, I received only 3.
Okay.
Then when I pointed out the fact that there was a surveillance log on September 6th that mentioned September 1, then lo and behold, now there was 4. Okay. I believe that there were actually surveillance logs for every single day, and they just weren't turned over to me. So I believe that, that Jappy knows that I didn't kill Mr. Gehrman.
Okay.